Today we're going back to the Chiayi station. We're on our way to Tainan station. We decided to take the train this time, the local train, instead of the high speed, partly because the time to actually get from one place to another is about the same, partly because even though the high speed is faster, the actual distance of the station is about half an hour away anyway. So we thought catching a local train is about 45 minutes around here and there, and so it makes no difference, and plus it's a lot cheaper. Okay, there was a bit of a debacle with the train side of things. So if you see something that like express, sometimes EasyCard does not work on those train. So you need to make sure you buy a ticket. Lucky for us, we were charged just 10 bucks, which is equivalent to the HSR anyway, but what we're saving on is time. So it worked out okay at the end of the day. But make sure that you are very well aware of the difference in the type of train that you catch. So that was the bad news. But the good news is the hotel Dao is literally just in front of the train station. And we can just walk there quite easily. There's some stairs that you have to deal with. If you have a heavy baggage, it's gonna be tougher, but generally the fact that it is close is a good thing. Our first stop in Tainan is the Confucius Temple. It is about 1.2 k's walk from our hotel. This temple was completed in 1665. It's a beautiful temple and has been used for different things throughout the last 300 plus years. It was like at some point in time when the Japanese occupancy, it was used as a school. It is important that every household there is a sage book, and it symbolizes that you are learned and enlightened in the household. Can't wait. Across the road of the Confucius Temple, there is a Fuzhong Street. It looks interesting because of these entrance pillars. We found this place for a fish bowl, and it's interesting. That's the fish bowl. Doesn't have a lot of bounce to it, but it still tastes pretty good. And I think there's some fish pieces in here. It's very velvety. I like that. Not too far away, we arrive at the National Museum of Taiwan Literature. It's a very big building. It carries a lot of history. It's over 100 years old, and certainly a very interesting place to visit. This building was built by the Japanese and used as the department for the Air Force. The walls are so thick that you can't feel the heat from the outside. Today is a very humid day in Tainan. About less than a kilometer away, we walk to the Chikan Tower. When the Dutch took over Taiwan back then in the 1600s, they built two forts. This one and the one in called Fort Zealandia. And then eventually this particular fort fell to a general called Kochinka, and it became his residence. And then after that, when he took over the other fort, he moved over there as his residence. This place fell over, got demolished, and eventually was restored during the Qing dynasty, and now it stands like this today. They have a huge amount of beautiful koi here. They are massive. There's certainly a lot of history with this particular building. On our way to our next spot, we hit this place, and it looks like a walking market with a lot of food. We just had lunch, so if there's anything that's interesting, we might actually stop by and check it out. But the line, most of the shops are very long. At the moment it's lunchtime, so you can imagine how busy this street is, as all the Taiwanese are here to have their lunch, and yeah, it is really packed. It's crazy packed. It's hot, but still lots of people out. We arrived at the Wind Temple, but we didn't expect that there's actually some massive festivity happening here today. Apparently there's celebration of the god's birthday. I'm not sure which god it is, but certainly they're making a lot of noise and a lot of people are just enjoying themselves. So apparently they're celebrating the god's birthday. I'm not sure which god it is, but that's what the local told us. And they have carriages that they're carrying now. Ooh, that looks really flimsy. I hope they're okay. They're moving. Wow. There's some people who are dressed up with those crazy masks. Looks awesome. That's really cool. Those guys at the back are playing drums. Look at it. After a 20 minutes bus ride from the city center, we finally arrived at the Yangbing Old Street. There are quite a lot of interesting food here, and if there's anything interesting, we're certainly gonna try. So we arrived at the Fort Zeelandia. At the time when the Dutch established this land, they replicated the city to look very closely to some of the town in Holland. And so as it expands, the streets and the shops, the way it's arranged is very similar in terms of size and the width of the road. And so this is quite an important trading port for the Dutch at the time. Zhejiangong is also better known as Kochinga. He literally took over both fort and took it away from the Dutch at the time, and so established his residence here. This is a spot where he lived at the time, and it is definitely a very strategic spot for him. This is a great angle to see what it looks like today with all the markets. It will be a night market for tonight. Super busy. After 10 minutes walk from where we were, now we're at the tree house. This place was built by the Qing government in 1867, used as a warehouse. It used to be trading sugar and camphor. Behind me is this very big banyan tree that holds this place up together. Wow. As you can see, some of the roof tile is being embedded by the roots. It's still being hung on by the roots. And the original pillars that hold the roof tiles is still there. This particular tree simply just grow along the wall. This provides a great view of the swampland. See, Amping has a lot of swamp, and it's a combination of reclaimed land here and swampland. After a 20 minutes bus ride, we are now at the flower night market. As we walk closer to the food store, I'm already smelling all the different type of food that I'll be eating. And like on the other side of the traffic lights, we were able to smell the stinky tofu, which is amazing. So yeah, definitely very excited, and we look forward to tonight. Okay, we got some fish bowls and also some duck blood. So this is the duck blood here. I love the jelly part of this. Man, I can never get bored of this. Very good. So Sarah found this, I think these are like waffles. We had this in Japan, so we're gonna try it here. So we ordered the one with the strawberry in it. Oh, this is very exciting. The roast pork in the middle of the market. I'm gonna try my first piece here. It's very juicy. It's so tender. The marination is just perfect. I'll grab one of the crispy bit. Oh man, it's like, I'm not sure you can hear it, but it's literally like fluff, crust, very soft. Tastes amazing, just the right level of fat. Oh, that's great. We are right in the middle of the market, and there are heaps of people. As you can see, it's completely packed on both sides, and it is also like a space for people to eat as well, with the table, very short chairs, and certainly a family occasion, especially for the weekends. Our next stop is this particular store that cooks this giant chicken, and then they chop it into smaller pieces so they can put it in your mouth as fast as possible. So this is a fried chicken. I'm gonna give it a go. They marinated it. Tastes amazing. So it's crispy, it's grilled at the same time, so you get a smoky flavor a bit. And it's sweet on the outside. I'm not sure what sauce it is. Possibly plum sauce, but very light plum sauce. Great chicken. So we ordered this for dessert from this lady, and it looks very interesting. Mochi and strawberry. So this is the chocolate strawberry mochi. The strawberry is very fresh. Surrounded by the chocolate, actually tastes really nice. This is the sesame with strawberry and the mochi. Strawberry is so juicy and sweet. Lucky last, this is the red bean with strawberry and mochi. Look at the inside, you can see the red bean. Try to be super careful. So the strawberry is so juicy and sweet. The red bean, although it is sweet, but it's not overpowering, which is perfect. And the mochi is so soft, it's just perfect. Love the dessert. So after about an hour and a half being in that really tight spot and great food, we loved it. It's kind of started to get quite hot in there because there were just so many people, shoulders to shoulders, enjoying food, and yeah, such a great night here. And I wish I can come back more often in the future. Certainly a great place to visit in Tainan. This morning we're gonna be catching a local train to Kaosiung, partly because it is so much, again, faster than having to travel out to the HSR. It's only like the next city down south, and we decided to do this so that it's a lot easier and faster to get there. It only takes about 50 minutes to get to Chiayi, And now we are exiting the station and going to the first stop. We're here to look at the tiger and dragon pagodas. Unfortunately, when we arrived, we noticed that all the scaffolding surrounding them, so they are being fixed, and unfortunately we won't be able to see its full entire glory. However, we'll go into the pagodas and still check it out anyway, and hopefully enjoy ourselves. You can find all these pagodas on Kaosiung Lotus Lake. It's a very large body of water here. As you can see at the distance, there are other pagodas that we're gonna visit. We're walking through the dragon mouth, as you can see, just the top of it being swallowed by the dragon. And inside has all this carved figurine for the gods. This is the hell. The hell. So when you do bad things, when you die and go to hell, they will torture you. And so make sure you do good things and good deeds. Unfortunately, we can't get into the pagoda itself because it is being renovated, but you can see part of the body of the dragon, and in the background is the body of the tiger. So that's the tiger's butt with the tail sticking out. That's the best we can see out of this building, unfortunately. Oh, I'm devastated. We only get to see the lower level for both the dragon and the tiger. But at least we see a lot of this beautiful figurine on the wall. And we're coming out of the mouth of the tiger now. And that's the nostril of the tiger, and this is where we come out from, the mouth. Across the road is a Tainan Temple. We're gonna go and have a look. I feel that the temples in Taiwan are really well maintained. They spend a lot of time and money maintaining it, painting it, and keep it really nice. And so it is certainly gonna last through the ages if they do that. So alongside the dragon and tiger pagoda, there's another pagoda here with this massive dragon kind of like spread across the water. As you can see, that's part of the body, and then from there you can walk towards another pagoda. And in the distance, as part of this, there is another pagoda that stretches out to the middle of the lake. Under the pagoda, it is so cooling. So the water pushing, the wind is pushing through the water and it cools it down slightly. And when you're under the shade, all of a sudden you feel cooling, which is great for the locals. We're now walking towards the pagoda in the middle of the lake, and I think at night this place would look beautiful, and it's much more cooling as well with the light coming from the lantern. Well, when we were walking towards the pagoda, there were some splashes in the water, and I thought it was fish. And as we get closer to the entrance, there are two fish floating in the river, and that is the size of them, and so they were pretty big. Not sure why these two died, but certainly it just shows the size of the fish here. The pond has a lot of lotus, as you can see, and there are also a lot of turtles as well. Now we're walking towards this particular dragon mouth. This looks actually quite cool. It's really nice to finally come out the ass of the dragon, and towards the lake again. And Sarah just came out of the ass of the dragon after me. I can see that the locals are trying to fish the dead fish out of the water. What is really interesting about this lake is that in front of every temple they would build an extension like pagodas into the lake, and there are 3 major temples here, so I noticed that there are 3 pagoda out into the lake. This is the 3rd and last pagoda, and yeah, let's have a look. It's very interesting that some of these statues ride on goats and cows, and on that side they ride on phoenixes. And interesting enough, like around here there are a lot more geese, and on the other side there are a lot more turtles. So it's a different animal hangouts. And now we come to this, and you can see they're riding on tigers. And this particular guy is riding on a dragon. That's really cool. And this person is riding on, I have no idea, it looks like geese more than anything else. This is a very big structure here. While we were inside the building there was this young Taiwanese boy who wanted to practice his English and meet foreigners, so he taught us about the deity there, and some of the prayer practices by the Taiwanese. I find that very interesting, and yeah, he's a nice guy, really. So yeah, it's certainly, you know, I love Taiwan. The people generally are very friendly, and they do their best to be helpful, especially to the tourists. We're feeling a bit hungry, so we stop at a restaurant across the street from the last temple, and this is like a pork belly soup with a lot of vegetables, and also I can see some fish balls as well, and we're gonna have it with rice. I'm gonna start with the soup. It's like a lot of vegetable melon. There's a lot of melon taste to this. Auntie gave me a lot of the meat, so this is the fat. I've been cooking for a while. It just falls off. Very nice. Piece of fish balls here. Not very bouncy, but it tastes good. The Kaosiung National Museum of History is about 20 minutes bus ride from the previous station, and we finally arrived, so we're going to check this place out. After going around Kaosiung for the whole afternoon, we realized that it is actually a port city. There's not much history that is worth hanging around for the whole day, so we decided to go back to Tainan. We should get back at about 3 o'clock. We're catching a high-speed kind of local train instead of the proper high-speed rail. It should take only half an hour, and we'll get back to Tainan and enjoy the rest of the trip from there. We wanted to stop by at the bakery and look at the line. And this is 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and inside is literally packed. They collected 2 bread. We're not sure what it is, but there's a massive lineup just now, and not for this, for something else, but we got this one because it looks good. It looks like there's some custard in this very fluffy bread. There's some sweetness in it. The custard icing is beautiful. And it's not overly sweet either. It's just perfect. This place is busy. It's packed in there. This is the egg cake, and I recall we had that in Tam Sui, Old Street, and now we're gonna try it here. I can't describe the fluffiness of it. It's almost like saffron-like cake. Oh man, I can eat so much of this. It's a good thing that it's just a slate. I'll be so fat. Just whipped it perfectly. You know that massive lineup? They were all going after this. It just came out of the oven and it's really hot in my hand. And I just can't stand it. So I FOMO it by buying one to see what the whole fuss is about. So I'm gonna give it a bite and see whether it is as good as what everyone thinks it is. Oh man. It has that crustiness on the outside, thin layer. It's like sweet bread. Dense, quite dense. It's beautiful. Yeah. And it's warm, makes it even better. We're making our way towards a restaurant popular for the eel. And we have to go past the Gua Hua Street again. And it is certainly less people than the first day that we went past here. And now you can see the actual structure of the street. And apparently during the Qing dynasty, this street is actually very popular with the patron, and it is good to see that it is still very active and a place that you can get a lot of food in. Now we're walking along Shenong Street, which is a very popular street, ancient street as well. And apparently, from what I understand, it is also very popular during the Qing period. And nowadays, it is being used as more like a novelty item street where they sell like trinkets and maybe some drinks. Certainly very interesting, mostly shops. At the end of Shenong Street, you can find Yao Wang Temple. For dinner tonight, we decided to eat a bit earlier because we know that this place is going to be super crowded. It is the traditional eel noodles. So we have ordered the eel stir-fry noodles. So uncle is starting to cook, and you can see on the right hand side are the eel, and you can see the crispy noodles. Apparently this is the famous stir-fry eel noodles, and uncle just finished cooking that. This is as hot as it's gonna get. I'm gonna try the eel and see how it tastes. Oh my god, it has this, the wok hei on this eel is like next level. Wok hei is there, and oh my god, I don't think he has washed his wok for like 30 years. Jeez. I regret not ordering more. I'm probably gonna order another one. And the noodles is like with those dry crispy noodle, and then he fries it separately, and then he cooks the eel, and he then dumps the eel on top of the noodles. So they're cooked separately, and then the sauce is in there. This is sauce from the wok, right there. Oh my goodness, it's very good. It's a bit peppery, but the eel is smoky. It's amazing. You know you're onto something when the chef in between his batches, he, you know, whip out his smoke, and they have a smoke next to the kitchen. Kind of like, you know what? I know I got it. And you know, that little burnt taste could have been some secret in there. Tastes amazing. Such a good dish. Seriously, that guy, when he passed, I'm not sure who's gonna take it up. Only like his walk skill is just absolutely amazing. Yeah, it's very impressive. Eel noodles. I'm glad I found this place.